What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We have another bit of Star Wars Armada for you guys today. So we're doing another unboxing. We just decided to pick up some Profundities, actually two of them, but we'll just unbox one, of course, here for you guys for our Rebel fleet, kind of round things out that we needed to get a hold of. So definitely one of the more recent releases, although recent with Armada is a bit of a funny thing, of course. Obviously we just got Clone Wars recently, but this really wasn't too long ago as far as number of waves back, but obviously a couple years old now. But anyway, one of the newer Rebel ships, or one of the last few Rebel ships that actually came out. Of course, we got the Starhawk and everything, but this one definitely around Rogue One time, so really a good ship and another heavy for the Alliance, which they really did need. So again, we'll get this bad boy opened up, we'll see what it all offers us, and then we'll go from there. Alright guys, and we're back. We got everything opened up here for you. So as usual, we got quite a bit of things here. Anytime we get Fantasy Flight, anything, lots of cards, lots of cardboard, all that fun stuff. So typical components here, so our various pieces for the dials, command dials. We'll get into that in just a bit. The flight stand itself, so this is a large ship. All of our good cardboard tokens, including the double-sided, of course, for two versions of the vessel here, and some of the new tokens and things that have come out at the time with this wave. Some of the new things and new tricks, basically, that you could pull. So let's take a quick look at that, right? So these are all pretty common now, but this wave, I think, is the one that introduced multi-icon upgrade cards, some of the name-restricted title cards. Same thing with size-restricted upgrades, and then chaff and raid tokens as well. So it was a fun time for that. But the main thing we're here for, so we'll start off with the model. So again, as usual, Fantasy Flight just kills it with these. So just really great detail. Really just looks like it was right from the movie. So coming from Rogue One, of course. First time, and I think only time really that we've seen this particular class. But again, just absolutely great detail. Hanger in the front there. The bridge actually on the bottom, and interestingly, for such a ship to also, and we'll get into that in just a bit here when we look at the cards and stats, but see if we can get that to focus a little bit, but for such small engines at the back there, this thing being speed 3 is a little bit interesting, but nonetheless, let's jump right in, guys, right? So we have the MC-75. We got our two versions here, as we always get with these new releases. So we have the Ordnance Cruiser and then the Armored Cruiser. So they both have 9 hull. Ordnance Cruiser's giving us a black anti-squadron, whereas the Armored goes blue-black. And then good icons on both of them. So we have 2 contains, a brace, and a redirect. And the Ordnance comes in base at 100, and then the Armored at 104. And as we said just a little bit ago, right, speed 3. So we have 2 clicks at 1. Speed 2, we have a click at each. Speed 3, of course, we don't have the first click, but then we have ones for the rest of it. So not like the most maneuverable ship on in the game, but pretty maneuverable overall. And again, Speed 3 is really something the Rebels needed in the form of a heavy hitter like this that can be fairly balanced, whereas the Liberties really just kind of like point me straight at something and let me delete it, but not so good on the other arcs. This thing is a pretty decent bruiser and brawler across all arcs, but favoring the broadsides seemingly a little bit in some ways. Depending on what you want to pair this with, like if you want to go Admiral Akbar and other stuff, that can be where some of those ways of basically like kitting this out can come into play there. So it just really depends on what you want to do with it, but just a good all-round ship. So we can see that the Armored Cruiser does come with a couple extra icons, although the Ordnance Cruiser does come with 2 of the, if we can get there, 2 of the missiles, whereas here you have a couple other extra upgrades here. But as we said, both hull 9, so again, just another good large for the Rebels here. Interestingly, between the two here, so we both get 3 commands, although the Armored Cruiser does give us a squadron of 3, and then they both come with the engineering of 4, which is, again, pretty damn good there. But on the shooting front, so you have a couple different things going on here. So first of all, again, excellent shielding too, right? 4 on the front, 3 on the sides and rear, which is great. We don't have to deal with like shields 2 on the back, which yeah, just again great all around ship. So You know, we have a little bit more in the form of black dice on the Ordnance Cruiser, right? So it's going to be a little bit more short range in that sense, but really nasty. So three black and 2 blue out the front, 2 black on the sides, and then 2 black on the rear. Nothing else there, so that could be a sort of a weak spot there if you can get around these. But then 3 red out the sides as well. So, but just pretty punishing overall, just great dice there. The Armored Cruiser, by contrast, out the front, sacrifices 1 of the black dice for another blue die, so you know, reaching out to medium there. And then on the sides we forgo the black dice completely, and it's just reds and blues. And then the rear of the Armored Cruiser is a little bit more balanced in that sense, with a blue and a black as opposed to 2 black. And again, the squadron overall is better there. And that's, you know, in some ways it just depends on what you want to do with these and what you want to kit them out to. But, you know, here, the Armored Cruiser being only 4 points more expensive makes this a tough choice in some cases. Again, depending on what your overall plan is for your list and all that stuff, of course, but that gets way deep into list building and all that, and we're just doing the unboxing here, but just some initial thoughts on this as we have opened it. So again, regardless, whichever you field, and let us know in the comments, guys, which ones you've been fielding and what your successes have been, what kind of fleets overall you've built with that. But just a great ship overall for the Rebels to have, and just add some fun new tricks, especially once we get into the cards and upgrades. So let's jump into that next here. So right off the bat, of course, we get Admiral Raddus, and he's got some interesting ability here. 26 points. So before deploying fleets, you may set aside 1 other friendly ship. At the start of any round, you may deploy that ship at distance 1 of a friendly ship. That ship cannot be deployed overlapping squadrons and cannot be the first ship to activate that round. So, but basically, you can hide something off board, hopefully get to a good position, and then deploy within range one of one of your ships, which will, in some cases, you know, be the ship as well, depending on what you're hiding off board. But it's a neat little trick, and you know, somewhat like the movie, of course, where the rebels surprise the Imperials at Scarif. It's a neat trick, but you definitely have to have a great game plan and know what you're doing to pull that off successfully at the right spots, and obviously kind of mission dependent too. But it's something that the opponent does have to suspect it and accommodate for. So on the downside, I think, though, you know, if you end up having a bad time and the opponent kind of get some early kills, then obviously it's going to kind of telegraph where you're going to want to, or where you're eventually going to bring in that remaining ship. So, but nonetheless, a pretty cool ability, and only 26 points there for Admiral Raddus. So we move on. We got Bail Organa here. Medium or large ship only. After deploying fleets, you may place 1 round token on this card. At the start of the ship phase of the round token matching that round token, if you are the second player, you must activate. If you are the first player, you may gain up to 2 command tokens of your choice. So a couple different things going on with him. General Draven. So while attacking a squadron with counter or intel, which again, at the time, you know, it was just really Imperials that had most of that. Rebels had a little bit in the form of A-Wings too. But now with Clone Wars and everything, there's so much counter going on, so I think he's definitely gotten some more relevance. But you may add 1 die of any color to your attack pool, so it could be very nasty to start whittling squadrons down. And again, especially with all the Clone War stuff and all the Jedi fighters and all the stuff that the Separatists have too. So there's a lot of that floating around now. Strategic Advisor, of course, we've seen that before. Oops, going a little bit too far there. This is a cool one, I think. We have Katekin and Sholon. While attacking, you may exhaust this card to reroll any number of dice of 1 color. So again, pretty good stuff there, just for 6 points. Oops. And here we can see one of those double slot cards too, which is Jyn Erso. So for 4 points, when you reveal a command, you may discard a squadron dial or token and this card to choose 1 enemy ship at close range. If that has no raid tokens, it does gain 2 raid tokens of your choice. If that ship has an objective token, you may also gain a victory token, so that's pretty cool too. EMS, I think we've seen that before, but at the start of each ship phase, you may choose one of your hull zones and mark it with a chaff token until the end of the round. While the ship or squadron is attacking that hull zone, the attack is obstructed. After the status phase, then you remove it. Not sure how valuable that is for the 7 points there, but I'm sure some people run it. Heavy Ion, we've seen that before. Wide Area Barrage, I think, was a new one at the time. Again, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, guys. Obviously, so many cards and upgrades now. If the defender is a ship, choose one other ship or squadron at close range of the defender. That ship or squadron suffers damage equal to half the total number of black icons, black hit icons in your attack pool rounded up. So neat there as well. Ordnance pods is another great one. Medium or large is only. At the end of your attack step, you may exhaust this card and choose one of your hull zones, then perform an attack